Good evening and welcome to the Top 25 Rundown. My name is Alan West. This is presented by the Sportscast. Today is May 8th, 2024, and welcome. Normally we would get to all the intros, but today the computers may are lovely and we're not allowed to break them yet, so let's just hop right into it. For the WNBA, Caitlin Clark was drafted, and we found out that unfortunately there was a writer who had a brain fart and he was not only suspended for 2 weeks, he has now been told that he will not cover the Indiana Fever in person at all this year. The columnist's name is Greg Doyle. So he made a mistake when he did the heart shape toward her, and when when she said that she does that to every family, it's pretty cool. He said, "Well, start doing it to me, and we'll get along just fine." Which, well, wasn't the best thing for him to say, and well, now he not only got to take a 2 week vacation, but now he won't be covering WNBA games. And also Candace Parker, who just recently retired from the WNBA, she became the president of women's basketball for Adidas. So congratulations to her. We're going to see how that goes. And also Mila Cardozo, she got hurt in the first game of the Sky, so she's out 4 to 6 weeks. But today we had the start of softball, been going for a day or two. But men's lacrosse over the weekend, they not only had their conference champions, they had their playing game, which had University of Albany win against Sacred Heart 13-7. So on the 11th, you have number 2 Duke going against Utah. You have number 7 Maryland going against Princeton. You have number 6 Virginia going against St. Joseph's. You have number 3 Johns Hopkins going against Lehigh. Actually, that game is 12 o'clock on the 12th, whereas Virginia is 12 o'clock on the 11th. Maryland is 7:30 p.m. on the 11th, and 2:30 p.m. on the 11th is Duke and Utah, whereas you have Denver going against Michigan, 5 o'clock on the 11th. You have Syracuse going against Towson, 7:30 on the 12th. You have Georgetown going against Penn State, 2:30 p.m. on the 12th. And you have Notre Dame going against University of Albany. Then you have the semifinals, or you have the quarterfinals on the 18th and the 19th. The semifinals will be on the 25th, and the championship will be on the 27th. So for all of them, we wish them good luck. And all of the games that are going to be shown are going to be on for the first rounds on ESPNU. And then quarterfinals also be on ESPNU. Then the semifinals will be on ESPN2. And the final will be on ESPN. So we will definitely see how that goes for all of them. Let's see. Go ahead and check out the women's lacrosse because that should be going in second as well. And yes, they have their bracket. The first and the second round are going to be on ESPN Plus for them on the 10th and the 12th, whereas the quarterfinals on the 16th will be on ESPNU, as are the semifinals and the championship will be on ESPN. The number one and number two seeds are Northwestern and Boston College. They have a bye to the second round. You have Denver going against Stanford at 4 p.m. on the 10th. Loyola Maryland going against Duke at 4 p.m. as well. You have Richmond going against Penn at 1 p.m. Virginia going against LIU at 3. Florida going against North Carolina at 6. Penn State going against James Madison at 3. Robert Morris going against Maryland at 12. Stony Brook going against Niagara at 2. Johns Hopkins going against Fairfield at 4. Binghamton going against Yale at 1. Notre Dame going against Coastal Carolina at 1. Michigan going against Mercer at 4. And Princeton going against Drexel. So we wish all those women competitors best of luck, and we'll see how that turns out. Now, today has been a big day for conference tournaments for softball. Games are still going on right now. You have McNeese going against Houston Christian in the Southland tournament, top of the seventh, with McNeese up 8-6. Marshall is going against Georgia Southern there in the 11th for the Sun Belt tournaments. They're in extra innings with the score tied 2-2. Iowa State's going against Texas Tech. They are up 9-4 in the bottom of the sixth. Wisconsin is up against Ohio State 5-1 in the Big Ten tournament first round. In the Pac-12 tournament first round, you have Arizona State up on Oregon State 3-0, bottom of the fourth. Southern Utah is ahead of Seattle University in the WAC tournament first round, bottom of the fourth inning. You have South Carolina going against Mississippi State. They're in the first, top of the first. South Carolina's up 1-0. You had in a marathon game earlier today, Alabama losing to LSU 3-2 and went 14 innings. And also, you had another marathon game with Georgia going against Auburn and winning 6-5 in 14 innings in the first round of the SEC tournament. You also had Ole Miss going against Missouri. Missouri won 3-1 in that first round game. In Missouri Valley tournament, you had Murray State beat UIC 10-2. In the MEAC tournament, you had North Carolina Central beat South Carolina State 1-0. In the SoCon tournament, you had Wofford beat East Tennessee State 5-4 in 10 innings. In the American East tournament, you had UMass Lowell beat UMBC 4-2. In the Ohio Valley tournament, you had Tennessee Tech beat Linderwood 7-3. In the American Athletic tournament, you had East Carolina beat UAB 4-0. In the SWAC tournament, you had Bethune-Cookman beat Arkansas Pine Bluff 2-0. In the MAAC tournament, you had Siena beat Rider 5-1. Toledo beat Central Michigan 6-3. Indiana beat Purdue 6-3 in the Big Ten tournament. In the Horizon League tournament, Robert Morris beat Northern Kentucky 7-2. In the Atlantic 10 tournament, Massachusetts beat Fordham 8-4. The Southland tournament, Incarnate Word beat McNeese 3-2. In the Summer League tournament, South Dakota beat North Dakota 6-5 in 10 innings. In the MEAC tournament, you had Coppin State beat Maryland Eastern Shore 13-6. In the CAA tournament, you had UNC Wilmington beat Elon 5-2. In the American East tournament, you had Maine beat Bryant 9-7. In the Big East tournament, you had St. John beat Seton Hall 7-2. In the WAC tournament, you also had UT Arlington beat Tarleton State 2-1. In the ACC tournament, you had Syracuse lose to Boston College 1-0. In Missouri Valley tournament, you had Bradley beat Valparaiso 2-0. In the SoCon tournament, you had Western Carolina beat Furman 8-6. In the Ohio Valley tournament, you had SIU Edwardsville beat UT Martin 6-1. In the American Athletic tournament, you had North Texas beat Memphis 7-1. In the SWAC tournament, Prairie View A&M beat Southern 10-4. In Conference USA, New Mexico State beat Jacksonville State 6-5. In the Ivy League tournament, Harvard beat Yale 12-4. In the MAAC tournament, Kansas beat Iona 4-2. In the CAA, Stony Brook beat Hofstra 3-0. In the MAC tournament, Ball State beat Western Michigan 6-0. In the Big Ten tournament, Minnesota beat Illinois 10-7 in 9 innings. Cleveland State beat IUPUI in the Horizon League 2-1. In the A10, Loyola Chicago beat St. Joseph 7-1. In the Southland, Southeast Louisiana beat Nichols 4-1. Again, in the ACC tournament, Notre Dame beat North Carolina 7-4. In the MEAC, North Carolina Central beat Morgan State 3-1. In the Big East, Creighton beat Butler 4-2. In the Big Sky, Weber State beat Portland State 4-3. In the Summit League, Kansas City defeated North Dakota State 5-2. In the Missouri Valley, Evansville beat Drake 4-1. In the SoCon, Mercer beat Wofford 1-0. In the WAC tournament, Southern Utah beat Utah Tech 7-6. In the ASUN tournament, Central Arkansas beat Queens University 1-0. In the MAAC tournament, Iona beat Rider 3-2. In the Rise League, Northern Kentucky beat IUPUI 3-2. In Ohio Valley, Tennessee State beat Tennessee Tech 8-9, 9-8. South Florida beat Tulsa in the American Athletic Tournament, or Tulsa beat South Florida in the American Athletic Tournament 2-1. In the CAA, Hofstra beat Elon 6-0. Florida A&M beat Texas Southern 4-0. James Madison beat Southern Miss in the Sun Belt Tournament 6-2. Central Michigan beat Western Michigan 4-3. Nichols beat Lamar 5-4. UTEP beat Louisiana Tech beat UTEP 2-0. St. Joseph beat Fordham in the A10 tournament 4-1. Bryant beat UMBC in the American East tournament 6-2. Princeton beat Dartmouth 4-0 in the Ivy League. Houston lost to Kansas 6-5. Coppin State beat Howard 6-4 in the MEAC tournament. And the ASUN Florida Gulf Coast beat North Alabama 2-1. In the Missouri Valley, Missouri State beat Indiana State 4-3. And the Big Sky, Sacramento State beat Montana 7-5. The Ohio Valley Southern Indiana beat SIU Edwardsville 4-0. And the SoCon Stanford beat Western Carolina 5-2. In the Big Ten tournament, Maryland beat Penn State 3-1. In the SWAC tournament, Jackson State beat Alabama State 6-5. In the WAC tournament, Utah Valley beat UT Arlington 2-1. Conference USA, UTEP beat Jacksonville State 7-6. And the American Athletic Tournament, Wichita State beat UTSA in 5 innings because of the mercy rule 13-0. Those are all the games in the first round today. So by the end of this week, we're going to have all the conference champions, and we will be setting up for the super regionals to get started. So definitely looking forward to that and seeing how that's going to end up. But let's go ahead and take a look at how we're doing for baseball right now, because we are just about at selection Monday for them. Because not only do you have the Major League Baseball draft, you also have the hockey draft that's going on as well. So as of right now, we have for baseball Tennessee number 1, Clemson number 2, Texas A&M number 3, Kentucky number 4, Arkansas number 5, East Carolina number 6, Oregon State number 7, Florida State number 8, Duke number 9, Virginia number 10, North Carolina number 11, Wake Forest number 12, South Carolina number 13, Mississippi State number 14, Georgia number 15, UC Irvine number 16, Arizona number 17, Oklahoma number 18, Oklahoma State number 19, Indiana State number 20, Troy number 21, Louisiana number 22, NC State number 23, Oregon number 24, UC Santa Barbara number 25. Go ahead and jump over to softball rankings. And right now we have Texas number 1, Oklahoma State number 2, Tennessee number 3, Oklahoma number 4, Duke number 5, UCLA number 6, Florida number 7, Stanford number 8, LSU number 9, Texas A&M number 10, Washington number 11, Missouri number 12, Arkansas number 13, Georgia number 14, Virginia Tech number 15, Florida State number 16, Mississippi State number 17, Louisiana number 18, Arizona number 19, Alabama number 20, Clemson number 21, Oregon number 22, Northwestern number 23, Miami of Ohio number 24, Kentucky's number 25. Let's go ahead and jump into cross. For the teams that made the tournament, you have Notre Dame number 1, Duke number 2, John Hopkins number 3, Syracuse number 4, Denver number 5, Virginia number 6, Maryland number 7, Georgetown number 8. For the teams that made the tournament for men's lacrosse. Let's go ahead and see how it is for women's lacrosse real quick as well. You have Northwestern number 1, Boston College number 2, Syracuse number 3, Maryland number 4, Virginia number 5, Yale number 6, Notre Dame number 7, Penn number 8. And we also have women's tennis has their brackets. We're already in the third round for the women's tennis, where you have Oklahoma State going against Tennessee. You have Michigan going against Miami. You have Texas going against UCLA. And you have Southern California going against Pepperdine. So then the winner of those games will make it to the Final Four. Then we'll have the champion. So, and all these games are being well, at least the championship game is going to be on ESPN Plus. So congratulations for the women. Let's jump over the men real quick. For the men, you have Ohio State and Mississippi State. You have Virginia and South Carolina. You have Stanford and Wake Forest. And you have Arizona and Columbia. And then you also have Kentucky at Harvard. They're playing at 2 o'clock on the 11th. Tennessee, Florida State's 1 o'clock on the 11th. Texas A&M and Texas, 7 o'clock on the 10th. Duke and TCU are going to play 4 o'clock on the 11th. Ohio State and Mississippi State is 12 o'clock on the 11th. Virginia and South Carolina, or I'm sorry, Ohio State and Mississippi State is noon on the 11th. Virginia and South Carolina is 4 o'clock on the 10th. Stanford and Wake Forest is 5 o'clock on the 10th. And Arizona and Columbia is 1 o'clock on the 11th. So best of luck for those teams. We'll see how that goes. Also, congratulations to USC women's beach volleyball. They four-peated. They beat UCLA to win their fourth title in a row. So congratulations to them. And very impressive. Let's go ahead and jump into team rankings for men outdoor and track and field. For the men, we have Florida at number one, Texas A&M at number two, LSU at number three, Alabama at number four, Arkansas number five, U.S. Southern Cal number six, Texas Tech number seven, Texas number eight, Virginia Tech number nine, Auburn number 10, Northern Arizona number 11, Kentucky number 12, South Florida number 13, Tennessee number 14, Mississippi State number 15, North Carolina number 16, Oklahoma State number 17, Iowa State number 18, Virginia number 19, South Carolina number 20, Nebraska number 21, Georgia number 22, the U Miami at number 23, Washington number 4, BYU number 25. So that's the men's rankings. The women's rankings, we have LSU at number 1, Arkansas number 2, Oregon number 3, Texas A&M number 4, Illinois number 5, South Carolina number 6, Florida number 7, Georgia number 8, Texas number 9, Tennessee number 10, Texas Tech number 11, Ole Miss number 12, Nebraska number 13, Notre Dame number 14, Alabama number 15, Southern California number 16, Florida State number 17, Oklahoma State number 18, Harvard number 19, Oklahoma number 20, Minnesota number 21, Virginia Tech number 22, Penn number 23, Houston number 4, and Washington rounds out the top 25 for women's outdoor track. All right, let's see. According to ESPN, the NCAA and the antitrust suits could pay up to 2.7 million. So, I'm sorry, 2.7 billion. So we're going to see how that goes. We're still going to wait to find out about that. UCLA won their second straight men's volleyball title, but in something that's relatively, I won't say pathetic, but in a move that's probably not going to be the most popular. Congress is trying to make a bill to set up the NCAA to protect them. I'm not sure how this is going to go just because every time they try to do something to help the NCAA, unfortunately, usually comes back to bite them in the butt. So we're going to wait and see about that and keep our options open just because, unfortunately, with how the NCAA is right now, they're more focused on saying that they're going to make a decision or protect a certain school depending on the situation. And while it sounds nice, it's more frustrating than anything else because in the end, it does not do anything positive because the NCAA needs to be held accountable for the mistakes that they're making. And if Congress does do this bill, all that's going to do is show them that not only are they going to get away with it, but it'll give them the power to do more like that if they so choose. Now, in the week, I found something that was pretty interesting. It says, congrats to the only two schools who qualified for the NCAA men's basketball, women's soccer, women's volleyball tournaments finished top 25 in both the men's indoor track and field and played in the D1 postseason football game. I'm as surprised as you are. Turns out the two teams that were able to accomplish that were Texas A&M and Texas. So congratulations to both of those teams for that. Because that was something that I would not have expected. Also, congratulations to Adatosida. They ran a 39.14 in the 4x100 meter Texas 6A state title, and they had the second fastest high school time ever. So, congratulations to them, and we have to see how that goes for them later on. Also, Aaron Kraft, he finally completed his work on the doctorate, so congratulations to him. When I was looking up information about the NBA NFL draft, I saw that RG3 and Jaden Daniels both were drafted second overall by Washington the year after they wore Heisman while wearing a baby blue suit. And when you look at the comparisons, their comparisons are almost the same. So we're going to see if they are going to be as successful without the injuries as maybe RG3 was. But that's something we'll wait and see about. LSU, their national champions in recent years. You had 2019, the football team won. 2021, the outdoor track and field men team won. 2022, the dance team won. 2023, women's basketball and baseball both won for the men. 2024, you have the dance team win again, and the women's gymnastics team won. So congratulations to LSU for those championships. We will see how that goes for them. Trying to make sure in case there was something. So the congressman for the bill that would protect the NCAA apparently was two Republicans, and it's they'll provide the NCAA college conference and member schools federal protection from legal challenges that stand in their way to govern college sports. It's called the Protect the Ball Act, sponsored by Republican Russell Fry, Republican South Carolina, Republican Barry Moore, Republican from Alabama. It's intended to provide safe legal harbor for the entities that run college sports, which have been under siege from antitrust lawsuits. Both those congressmen members of the House Judiciary Committee. The NCAA and Power Four Conference are considering a settlement agreement that could cost billions. House versus the NCAA seeks damages for college athletes who were denied the right to make money from sponsorship and endorsement deals going back to 2016, 5 years before the NCAA lifted its ban on name, image, and likeness compensation. Almost as problematic for the NCAA, recent lawsuits filed by the states that attack some of the association's most basic rules related to recruiting inducements and multi-time transfers. To protect the ball advocate, the NCAA protection litigation allow the association conferences to regulate things like recruiting, eligibility standards, and the way college athletes are compensated for name, image, and likeness. NIL rules are ever changing, heavily litigated, and essentially unenforceable, causing confusion and chaos for everyone involved, Fry said. We must establish a liability shield on a national level to protect schools, student athletes, and conferences as they navigate this new set of circumstances. This legislation is an integral component of saving college sports as we know it. College sports leaders have been asking Congress for help in regulating how student athletes can be paid for the NIL for several years, though NCAA President Charlie Baker and others have shifted the emphasis recently to preventing college athletes from being deemed employees. The lawsuit settlement being considered would create a revenue sharing system for college athletes, but the NCAA and conferences would still need help from federal lawmakers to shield them from future lawsuits and possibly create a special status for college athletes. It is imperative we reach a uniform standard of rules around competition soon. I'm really pleased to see that our congressional engagement efforts are being heard and action is being taken, said former Oklahoma State softball player Morgan Wynn, who has also served as co-chair of the NCAA's Student Athlete Advisory Committee. At least 7 bills have been introduced, some merely discussion drafts by lawmakers in both the House and Senate since 2020, but none have gained any traction. The Protect the Ball Act is a narrow bill intended to support broader legislation that would create a national standard for NIL compensation in college sports. That was by the AP on ESPN.com. So, I mean, it sounds interesting, but the question is, will it work? So, we're going to wait to find out about that. Also, the Frozen Four. I believe I spoke about this before, but in case I didn't, Denver blanked Boston College for its 10th ever national championship. All right, well, for most of the sports, that about wraps it up. We will come back next week and we will look at how the softball and baseball have their conference champions and see if they have already had their brackets set up for the super regionals and for the beginning of the College World Series. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great week. And for the mothers, I hope they have a good Mother's Day. This has been Alan West on the Top 25 Rundown, signing off.